Welcome back, everyone, to the back nine of the 22nd Annual Buckhorn Open, presented by CADL, also known as Capital Area Disc League. Today in the booth, we got Scott Conway, who's also in the mix and the hunt, only down by one here. How you doing? You feeling a little better now, or?
Doing good. Not feeling great about the front nine, but I just try and, like I mentioned in the front nine, I just try and keep playing golf until there's no more golf to be played and see what happens. I mean, I know the course really well, and in years past, I have tended to play the back nine a little bit better than the front nine, but we'll see how it turns out here.
Well, the back nine's a little more thrilling because you also have water in the mix. You have some downhill shots. You pretty much have everything. And here's a little preview of what you might be doing on the back as well.
Maybe.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm just excited to be here. Thank you, Lou, and everybody else that was, responsible for this event. And it was my first time playing and attending the Buckhorn Open, but I will be back. I had that much fun.
Yeah, I've played this one quite a few times in a row. Oh, here's Jake throwing a stiletto.
Yeah, and he starts off, he already has 5 birdies in a row. So he starts off the back nine with this ace run. Oh my goodness. He's
on a tear right now.
I like this hole a lot. The only thing you can't do is you cannot miss right. You have to bail to the left eventually. So this is a nice safe play by Evan, but check out this reaction.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember watching this roll, and this was a dirty, dirty roll. So put that tree there.
It's still going, Scott.
That's so unfortunate.
And for someone that was, heating up because he has 5 birdies in the front as well. I mean, that's kind of a big momentum shift. As long as he can save the putt there, so
it definitely can be. Evan's a strong player though, so I expect him to bounce back pretty well, even after that tough break.
And Tim was throwing his VIP Bear. And okay. What are you throwing here?
This is a K1 line stall from Castaplas. It's a overstable 9-speed from Castaplas.
Beautiful shot. Castaplas has some beautiful plastic. I mean, it feels great in the hand, and it looks like you trusted that stability there over the water.
I love that disc. It is very trustworthy. I measured this one off at 37 feet. So I'm okay to step through.
And you're looking at the middle of the chains or the top of the chains? Oh.
Very middle.
Okay.
Showing a little frustration here. Yeah, I know that, Jake and Evan are off to a hot start, and I'm playing a little flat, so I was not happy about that slight miss low, just a little undercommitted.
I mean, Evan could have missed for you, but no, he just said, I'm still going to par out there, and Jake's going to get a birdie. He's catching up to you. And we were talking about sensing tension. Can you sense that Jake is kind of keeping up or also on track with you?
Yeah, I can sense, I watched him birdie those 5, now 6 in a row, and that's creeping into my head, and that's where that little slight frustration comes from.
Yeah.
I know that I can't miss too many more opportunities, and these guys are good.
Yeah. You guys are good.
I'm behind, and being behind is not a great place to be when you're trying to compete for a win.
And 350 feet, this is another signature hole here with the smokestack in the background there. Beautiful hyzer-looking shot here by Tim. Comes up a little short. He's going to be near the water's edge. He might even roll OB there. We have to take another look.
Yeah, this one's tough. That water is, you're kind of throwing something out over the water and trusting it to stable up and You see Evan taking this high line way out over the water. He's got all the power in the world, and he actually goes long.
And quick shout out to Harris Lake County Park for this amazing venue for us to play at. It's definitely up there for North Carolina golf.
And I'm going back to this stall again with, I want something that I can trust. I'm going to kind of pop that really flat, maybe a touch of ante, and let the disc do the work.
Looks like you're in a good spot. Maybe circle's edge or so.
Somewhere around in there, yeah.
You even knew it. You knew you were short.
Yeah.
How many times have you played this course, just so the people, viewers at home know?
Ooh, man. I've played this course a bunch. Probably close to 100 times, honestly. I've played this course a lot.
Awesome.
I used to live I used to live about 10 minutes away from this track, so to get out here quite often. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Another missed opportunity for you. And you're probably hoping, please don't make this, because I'm slowing down here, folks, a little bit.
Yeah, I try not to wish that kind of stuff on my competitors, but it's back there where I'm like, yeah, maybe they could make a mistake. Maybe they'll miss it.
But nope. Evan was like, no, I'm going to take the opportunity. And so is Jake. And they're going to both get birdies there. Tim did unfortunately go OB.
Yeah, I think you were right off the tee, and he caught like a little unfortunate roll to just barely trickle out into the water.
So now things get a little more interesting, and the scores are. Looks like Jake is tied with Evan, and you're 2 back.
Yeah, and this is not an easy hole for someone like myself who doesn't throw a lot of forehands. At least nothing over about 225 to 230 feet. So this one's, even for the forehand guys, this one's super tight.
Go. Oh,
yeah. Ooh, see these guys that look like they're hitting the line very, very well, but, the end of this fairway, the gap you got to hit is pretty tight.
And then the backhand feels awkward, so you kind of have to lean on this right-hand side like you're doing here.
Yeah, and I'm throwing a flippy Reco, just one of their baseline. Yeah, it's a position play for me. I know that, if I get a 2 here, I'm fine with that. I'm, happy about it. If I take a 3, I'm content with that, and I'm fine to walk away. Do you know what the scoring average was here?
For hole 12, it was a 2.77, which was pretty much the same for hole 11, actually. So all of these holes sort of played the same, 10, 11, 12.
Got Evan from about what looks like, I don't know, probably 55, probably close to 60.
And we saw him make some of those in the first round. Check it out if you haven't already. He is a sniper from 80 feet. And this is probably 70-something for you.
It's a long one. A little uphill.
Let's go.
Oh, my goodness.
Dang.
Right in the heart. We love to see it. Now, is this what you were looking for a little bit of a swing, a little bit of encouraging, hope here?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Something like this, when I'm approaching it, my thoughts are always walking up to a putt like that. If I can see the basket, I'm walking up thinking, you know what, like we're not in the best position, but let's just stick this putt. And that's kind of how I talk to myself.
I saw you
a little bit of
hit so many circle 2s on our first round that I was not surprised when I saw you make this in the 3rd round just now.
Sometimes switching to a really good putter will do that for you.
So clean. And shout out to the Sandwich Man, because they're the ones that are sponsoring this hole coming up, and you have the momentum shift, it seems like. And let's see what you do here.
This is a K1 line Reco. This is their premium plastic Reco. It's nice and neutral.
Looks like you got up there, and I think you're pretty close to the basket.
Yeah, I pulled it a little bit right, but not too much. And there was a couple of people hollering for that one to get in.
Love to hear that. And Jake is following suit with Tim's line, as well as your line, just pulling a little slower disc, it looks like.
Yeah, I believe he was throwing a Kristen Tatar Pure, one of the OptoX Pures. He's just recently signed to Latitude 64 at the beginning of 2023. You see me grinning a little bit. I'm pretty psyched about picking up another birdie.
Getting through and getting a birdie. And here's Evan trying to join you guys.
Ooh, just barely off.
We haven't seen him miss too many putts, especially inside the circle.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal putter. It's a rare sight to see him miss those inside the circle putts. But, however, now I'm back in the mix that quickly. Just a couple of holes.
Sure are. And you're opting for the thumber here on hole 14, 270 feet. Finishes to the right, get a big flare skip. Is the intent here.
Yeah, kind of nicked a tree, but it's still, since it was a thumber, it still kind of slid down there to give me a good inside the circle look.
This averaged one of the easier holes of the day. 13 was up there as one of the easiest with 7, and 14 was up there as one of the third or fourth easiest.
Yeah, if you've got a pretty proficient forehand that you can throw, probably if you can throw one at least 245 to 250, this one plays a little downhill and that green's kind of sloped. Ooh, see Jake wanted that to go in, and I believe it was close.
And for a beat here, there's a good amount of money on the line because there was about 40 competitors, so there's almost $800 on the line here for the winner.
Yeah, they like I said, man, this tournament attracts a good amount of players, and it's because of the tournament staff and the course and how well it's ran. There's something to be said for that too.
Absolutely. And Tim is getting the birdie there. You're looking for your birdie after the thumber play. Oh, a little short.
Yeah.
But you got 2 good birdies in a row, and you say you like the back 9, so I'm sure you're still feeling pretty positive for 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah, for sure. That one didn't feel great to miss. I know it's a missed opportunity and a pretty routine putt for me. I just got a little tentative and left it low.
But to be fair, Jake and Evan also not getting the birdie doesn't hurt you. So
right, and so I'm not as upset. I know that I got away with one there.
And I love this hole. Straight ahead, but danger in the back, so people tend not to, run it long. They tend to lay up before the hazard area here. And let's take a replay here. Presented by Circle's Edge Disc Golf.
Ooh, shout out to Circle's Edge. another local North Carolina company. And that's that same K1 line Berg. Loving the Berg, man. Such a consistent disc.
It was a smooth shot there.
I believe that's the Cenas out of Jake here. And I don't know what this is out of Evan.
Well, whatever it was butter.
It was either, I was gonna say it was either a popcorn or a butter. One of those two. He throws those two discs really, really well.
And not a easy green to mess with here. So anything can happen on this green.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, this is a great camera angle to show you how elevated this green is. I'm 6'5", and the basket's probably a good 3 to 5 feet above my head.
Crazy.
So not the easiest green to putt on.
No, plays probably 12, 13 feet high from there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's up there.
Great putt there, and getting back, tying Jake. Oh, just for a hot second though.
Just for a second. Yeah.
And let's take another replay now. This has got to be hard with his putt, with this horseshoe putt going uphill on an angle like that. That can't be easy.
Yeah, I can't imagine it is easy, but Jake makes it work, man. He's a great putter.
Yeah.
Even with the super unique style.
And so is Tim. He's a great putter as well, getting the memo, getting the birdie. And at hole 16, 450 feet, par 4.
Proudly sponsored by Device Solutions, your partners in embedded product design, Internet of Things, antenna and RF design, testing, certification, and more.
The play is what you just did. Play it up there to the tee pad, and then you'll have a nice mid-range or putter shot to the basket.
Yeah, this is the, outside of probably hole 8, this is probably the touchiest shot on the course, this tee shot here, because it's, a very, very, very specific landing zone. It's so small.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you're taking a more than 90-degree turn on the fairway to get to the basket.
Yeah.
Once you land in that zone.
Tim had no angle to the basket there, unfortunately. And even Evan's got a very hard look to the basket. He's going to have to wrap around a few trees and then flex and come back. But we've seen Evan pull off some great shots in the woods before.
And this is looking like a fantastic shot also. That was amazing.
Fully stretched out and still getting the shot off on a perfect height. Like, who does that?
Evan does. That's what he does, man. He is really good at that.
He must work out.
Yeah, right.
Nice looking shot there. Is that the Rico again?
That is that K1 line Reco. I went with a Glow Berg off the tee there. Again, using that 1-speed disc to my advantage.
That's great because you can't go long or short on this. You just have to sit. That's a good call.
Slow down. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't know what he threw for the second shot there.
Well, I know that he's going to be about 30 feet to the right. Evan looking to save his birdie after missing out on the last one. There he is.
Yeah, just like you would expect him to bounce back. He's a great player.
Yeah, he's got a great scramble percentage rate during this tournament. That's a tough miss because we haven't seen Jake miss at all, really.
Yeah, we're coming down the stretch here that may have been a little bit of nerves, or it may have just been a misfire out of him. Ooh, I just barely sneaked that one over the rim, but we'll take it.
That was more than a tester. That was a way to capitalize there to get your birdie. That was meaningful. And Jake,
No.
for someone that was in the lead to take a double bogey that late in the mix is painful to watch.
And I didn't see that live when we were on the car. That would explain lead change. Because I had already walked off, towards this 17's tee pad.
Which is right next door, and 17 is the second hardest on course on the hole. Second hardest hole on the course. And you're going to be opting up to lay up because you have a pretty good look to the basket from there, and you could still get a birdie.
That's always my play here. I don't have the elite power that, some of these guys have, so that's always my play. Lay up to the bottom, pitch over. I'll take the birdie.
Hey, that's not true. First round, you went for it, and I don't know if it's because me asking you about it made you.
That was from the short pad.
Oh, that's right.
That was from the short pad.
That's right.
And the short tee is only this is Jake throwing a Opto Flow,
and
he absolutely smashed it.
No. He thinks it's OB, but I think he's called inbounds because there was no flag.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Check out this reaction. Yeah.
I know when he let it go, I was like, oh, it's a little overcooked, but then I think I remember seeing it finish and thinking he's probably inbounds.
That hit the tree inbounds.
It did hit the tree inbounds. So we'll see when we get up there. Even if he is OB, he will get the spot on that side.
And that's something you can't tell on camera too much, but there's a slant going to the basket, and Tim just unfortunately rolled OB after having a great looking upshot there with his hybrid anvil. Oh man, he's running the basket.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
You want to stick this one. Yeah, well, you want to stick this one close. This green, like you just mentioned, is rather sloped and treacherous, so you want to be close. And putting on this green is difficult.
Yeah, and Evan's shooting from the drop zone, and he's leaving himself about a circle 1, circle 2 putt. And Jake is inbounds. What an amazing shot, an opportunity here.
It was an incredible shot. There's probably 4 guys in this entire tournament that can make that shot.
That's insane.
Hit that tree.
Hit that guy?
Yeah, I thought it rolled out right.
So Jake is now
trying to figure out
where
Jake
he went out of bounds.
Yeah, Jake is only 1 back of you right now currently. Evan is tied with Jake, so it's so close.
Yeah, and I've got this putt, just not exactly an easy one. Got this tree kind of leaning a little bit on me.
Wow. Great Annie putt there. You have to make it Annie spin a little bit. And you did it here. This was one of the better saves of the day for you. Because did you know that was one of the most meaningful putts of the day for you?
No, I didn't. I could kind of sense a little bit where I knew, okay, I know I need to make this putt.
Yeah.
I just didn't know exactly how much it meant.
Yeah.
So I was quite relieved that it skipped over the rim and in the basket.
Well, hole 18 is no joke. Very daunting tunnel shot. One of the more tighter tunnel shots of the day. What are you throwing here?
This is a Halo Wraith. This is a double G Halo Wraith that I actually got from Jake a couple of weeks before this tournament.
You guys sound like best friends. That's awesome. And
We were.
and Jake's visibly upset there, but understandably so.
For sure. I love to see the passion that these players have for the game. You can tell how much it means to them, and that is really it's what makes the game exciting to me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Evan was trying to smash one up there to put a little more pressure on you since he's 2 back.
Oh, that was an odd reaction off the ground.
It was. That was his supreme trespass. And this just shows you the teeth on this hole. I mean, this is, if you're short, this is a very difficult approach shot.
Yeah, this scatter plot of trees on the left side and right side are pretty treacherous.
And it's long.
It
plays like 390, 400, not 350. I don't know what it is about this.
Yeah. The very end of this fairway, you can see like this slight gradual slope up, and I think that's what makes it play a lot longer than and Evan. So backstory on this, Evan was running that because earlier in the tournament he actually landed in that same spot and made it from there to it.
Wow. Well, I mean, he also had to run in just in case, you know, you had some weird roll or something, but this is to save your par, so this is no easy task. Oh, wow. Finishing with style, Scott. How do you do it? Tell us how you do it.
Oh, man. This was another one that I walked up to and was like, let's just put this in and see what the score. Again, right here, I turn around and Jake comes up, gives me a fist bump, and I was like, what happened? He was like, you just won. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. You guys had a great battle, and I think it was right at this moment where you said you won by 2, yeah. And
yeah, and there were...
That was a fun battle, Scott.
There it is, yep.
Yeah.
Who won?
Yeah.
So cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's so cool to see you win, too, because coming from my perspective, I was... first time playing this tournament, I got to play with you first round, so I got to play with the winner. I mean, that is just so awesome to know the way that you attack the course and the skill set that you need to have to battle and win this Buckhorn Open. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I got lucky to have, great cards all weekend. You and a couple of the guys on our first card, we had a blast that first round. I know not everybody played their best.
Scott Conway.
It was a great time, man. This is a title that I've been chasing for years. Like I said earlier, I've been playing this tournament a long time. So to finally win this one was a pretty big deal to me. And shout out to the tournament staff and everybody who was involved. And I really appreciate all the work that goes into these things. And it's awesome. That was a good one. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, echo your statements there. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll check you out on the next one. Thanks, Scott.
Yep. Thank you.